Hi, I'm Xeno.
I am Silver.
And we're talking about Shokugeki no Soma, or for those who speak English,
Food Wars.
yeah! So, what was your first impression of the show when you first started watching it?
That was interesting. We discovered the show on YouTube because we were watching anime craft videos, right?
Yeah, and there was just like one random scene where this chick's clothes exploded off, I think, wasn't it?
We saw was a clip from the second episode.
Oh yeah. We were so lost.
Basically, most people have seen that there's the food porn in the videos, and that's what we saw. And we were so confused by that. We had to backtrack and be like, okay, we want to watch this show to maybe explain what is happening. We watched through the whole 2 seasons, and we're still just like, what is happening?
If you want to summarize the show in 2 words, it would be food porn. Because there's food porn, and then there's also borderline porn, where people's with clothes exploding off of them.
They take the analogies of how good food would taste. So you'd be like, this food tastes so good, it feels like a waterfall is pouring on my head, or something along
that one
those
chick
lines.
was being like, she had the main character's called Soma, right? And he gave his food to this one chick, and she's like, it's like being tickled with angel feathers, and she's like...
And then you actually see that analogy played out on the screen. That's why it's food porn. Because they do good food, and then, yeah. And
there was this one time he gave this girl, what was it, peanut butter squid, and we see like this weird like tentacle rape scene where she's like...
Yeah, because they're so disgusting, that's what it felt like. She was being raped by the tentacles. So
like every time they give you an analogy.
It's a weird show. It's a weird show, but it's also a good show. If you can get past the weirdness, it's still a good anime.
But here's the thing, though: it starts off really weird to get you hooked, and then once you're hooked, you actually get invested in the characters and the story.
Which you kind of get invested in the characters, but they do introduce a lot of characters to the show.
There's so many.
There is, because they show the main characters on the screen, but then they're like, but then as the show goes on, they're like, this random character, and then they'll flash the importance of the character on the screen, and you'll be like, why is this character important? Nothing except for the fact that it causes more competition for the main character.
Yeah.
It
also kind of turned into a sort of a harem. Like, not a total harem ecchi comedy, but like everyone fell in love with them.
It's an implied harem. It's not like a typical harem that you would see. It's an implied harem.
Right.
But it also turned into kind of almost if you took food competition and took it and turned it into a fighting anime style thing.
Right, because there are actually like, I think towards like the season finale, there are like genuine action scenes you'd expect to see in like a generic action shonen. And those fight scenes are actually pretty good, but it's just a metaphor for how good the food is, you know.
It was a metaphor for the this cook's food versus this cook's food. So it's like the foods fighting against each other rather than the people.
God, if you don't watch this show on an empty stomach, because you're going to feel like you're dying of hunger. You're going to get so hungry. The food looks so good.
But the fun thing about it is they do explain how to make it, all the foods that they take to prepare it. So you can legitimately make this food if you had the money and the time to do such things. If they don't have a recipe book, I'd be surprised.
Well, yeah, I'm sure there's a recipe book, but not all of them are like super high quality. Like one of the first dishes Soma makes, it's like rice, chicken bouillon, and eggs, right?
Basically, that was the basic of it. It looked like popcorn, but that's because the animation was so detailed and pretty that...
Like, not all of it is like crazy expensive. Like, chicken bouillon, eggs, and rice, and they make it look so pretty, because like when the bouillon cubes melt onto the rice, it's like this sparkly animation. It turns into like kernels of popcorn gold or something like that.
Right.
It's weird.
Yeah. I would say more to that scene, but that's spoilers.
Exactly. It's a genuinely good show. And it's not a show that you take too seriously. It's a very light show, very lighthearted show. And it's best when you watch it with friends. Because when you just watch it alone...
We watched it together as a group. That was... Watching it alone, the weird gets too weird, I would think.
Yeah. But when you watch it as a group, you can all laugh at it and poke fun at it.
Because it's really easy anime to poke fun of. But they've add... connections with the characters and everything, so they make it still more interesting than watching any other food show like you would watch on Food Network or something.
I agree. So the main characters that we see all the time are Soma, the protagonist. Then he's always paired up with Megami.
She's the cute cinnamon roll type. Most people on the internet should know what that means.
I didn't know what that meant until she mentioned it. She's adorable and sensitive, and she's always freaking out and panicking because she's got anxiety. Mm-hmm. And then Soma's over here
and she's the type of... Because you meet her and she has the double braids and everything. She's that kind of character.
Soma is... He's not just confident, he's insanely cocky.
There's that girl, and then there's Erina. She's the God Tongue character.
Oh, yeah.
She's the... they literally call her the God Tongue because she can taste everything precisely how it is mixed, and a lot of people failed at school because she tried their foods. Anything
you do slightly wrong, she can pick out in an instant and will fail you for it. It has to be perfect.
Yeah.
And he's the main antagonist to Soma because she doesn't want him to succeed. She doesn't like him. Mm-hmm. And nobody likes the main character because...
Well, at least at first. That's why it becomes that harem that we were talking about, because nobody likes him at first.
Everyone in this show was a tsundere to Soma at first.
Right. Because he... Well, it's because one of the... I think that was the first or second episode in which he goes up in front of the entire school and be like, I'm going to get the #1 seat on the council, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And Erina is... number 10 on the seat. I think that's what it is. She's number 10, and she's trying. That's why she hates him even more, because he's trying to up her a lot, and she sees him as cocky and not as skillful as he says he is.
Right.
Which you do find out in a later episode that he had to learn past his cockiness, basically. Yeah.
He's a very good cook, but he's not a perfect cook. He still makes mistakes, and he has to learn from the people around him.
Which is why it makes such a good anime, because he is still a normal person, despite the fact that he's cocky. He's not... He seems like an OP character, but he's not.
Because the school is very harsh, and only the really OP cooks can even make it to begin with.
I think it was 10%.
Yeah,
graduation
10%.
Rate.
Yeah.
You find that out in the first episode, so that's not a spoiler.
At the start of the show, he's just crushing all of his competition, and later he meets tougher and tougher competition until he's like, I don't know if I can actually win. And he has to pull out these last minute changes to his recipe to succeed. It's like, how is he going to win? Is he going to win?
It makes it interesting. So that's another reason why I'm excited about season 3. So we hope you like our video, and
later.
Yep, bye!